And on the Mixon case, I heard the film, I might have missed it or zoned out in shock, but what were the specifics of the pullover? What made him say, oh my God, they're getting ready to kill me? Because I can see that.
No, that's not what he really said. He was
No, I'm just asking what happened. I want, what was the real deal behind the pullover?
Well, everybody that was in the pullover is dead. So, you know, we can't really speak to exactly what went down because Lavelle Mixon is dead and the two officers is dead. But what we do know is that police terrorism goes down continuously, particularly on that strip. We do know that these laws that they put in place had Lavelle Mixon facing his third strike. Now, if he would have got pulled over with the gun, it's very likely that he could have been struck out. Now, the question that I asked in the movie is to the prison industry builders, to the people who back these police associations and support the police all in their community, how does it feel when the rabbit has the gun?
I heard that. And to the young that's about to get the microphone.
Okay, you got nothing. Hold on.
Well, just still your this is still to answer your question because what I did know about that day, which was actually this day a year ago, is actually the equinox today, and that's when Lavelle Mixon shot the four police. I was in my garden, you know, like pulling my arugula up, because it's the equinox. You know, you're supposed to be about Dionysus and the vines coming off of the, you know. And so that's what a lot of us were doing when we was in the farm. The police decided that day that they were going to basically go around and do a warrant sweep of Alameda and Contra Costa counties. They do this once a year. So basically what the police were doing that day is that there was a warrant sweep, meaning they was going around just pulling over every black man that they seen to find out if you had a past warrant so that they could take you to jail. And, you know, they do this periodically. They did that to my brother one time, and my brother ended up doing 9 years for something that he didn't do 3 years prior. So, you know, they do this from time to time, but I think the significance of that, and I'll take it astrological because, you know, I'm a poet. On the day of the equinox, the 21st, all things are equal, right? Y'all know about that. Today, all things are equal. The sun is equal to the darkness, and anything that you put out comes back tenfold. It just kind of balances out. And I think that day, the police was going out looking for trouble, right? And they got it. I was in my garden, so I got some
say one thing, Lance, too. You said you didn't want to be a leader, you just wanted to be a guy with a shop. The people who don't want the job, you're doomed to be a leader.
That's right.
Let's deal with it.
All right, thank you so much.
And one thing about, because I think one thing about historical amnesia, I just wanted to ask, since I got the mic right now, right quick, about historical amnesia, how many of you know about Mark Essence? Raise your hand. I just want to know, because I'm in New Orleans. How many of you know about Mark Essence? Yeah, on the top of the Howard Johnson, the Holiday Inn. Okay, if y'all don't know, ask the person who raised their hand who do know, because that's part of your local history that you should know about that's about this subject.
Okay. Question, yes ma'am.
It seems to me from history that the most successful movements connect elders to young people and politicians to street organizers. And it seems like what we're lacking now is that connection. It seems like it appears as though there's a lot of ego around specific parts of the movement that you control or that you work with. And so I guess my question is just how elders as well as like current workers, you know, how can we make our movement stronger? How can we build our forces together? Because the reality is that like age, you know, the shade of your blackness, whether you're a woman or a man, the reality is that we're all fighting the same monster. So like let's be real about it. How can we connect our power? How can we make it real?
Ms. Thierry, let me ask you to answer that, then Mr. Walters. Ms. Thierry?
I think what needs to happen, especially in my city, I can't speak for Oakland, but I can speak for New Orleans. We gotta stop fighting each other. I may not know it all, you don't know it all. But one thing that I've learned doing this work is that I can sit down and listen to anybody, and we can come together as one. And I listen to a lot of stuff I've been born and raised here all my life. I'll be 50 years old this year. But every time something major go down in this city, it goes all the way back to Oliver Thomas. I listened to what he said that day. If you're not coming to work, don't come back here. That was a hidden message for me. And it'll stick with me till the day I die, because he knew what was coming down the pipeline for the poor community of New Orleans. As James Carter exited the city council, he said, it's time we unify. And I take that to heart today. And we gotta stop fighting about who wants the front row. If we don't get this together, y'all, none of us ain't gonna have the front row. And stop putting each other down and wait till we on these panels to come and attack us. What productive is that doing for your community? To come in a venue and wait for your community to say something that you don't like or you don't agree with and tear them down. We're doing it to each other. And that's how we're going to strengthen this movement. Regardless of if you believe in violence and I might not believe, I might be the scary one. But guess what? I could be the one to reload the gun for you or do something. But let's do it together. Let's get in where we fit in. And stop trying to bring each other down. Until we come together as black people, as poor people, as Latinos, Palestinians, I don't care what you are. We all got the same common experience. We getting our ass beat.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm in agreement with the sister when she talks about there's no need for personal attacks, and there shouldn't be. But in order to come together, because we have different competing or antagonistic classes in the society, it means that we have antagonistic ideas. It means that some of us, based off our ideas, choose to go this direction, or choose to go in that direction, or have this faith or that faith. Now, I really believe that the views that I have are numerically in the minority. So what does that say? It says that I have to be willing to be patient, willing to listen, willing to block where I can block with others to try to achieve this objective. And many times when I do that, I try to make it clear to people that we should still debate and discuss our differences. There is, what I'm saying, an ideological struggle going on that must go on at the same time that we carry out this political struggle. Okay? I firmly believe after my years on this earth, the short time that I've been here, from the things that I've experienced and studied, I believe there is no other way out except by the defeat of the United States government, the overthrow of the government. I believe that. Okay? I'm convicted of that. But I would also be incorrect to not struggle with you correctly. The way we have to struggle with each other correctly, even when we have these sharp differences, trying to win you over to my views. Okay. Real quick, I know you want to pick. I just want to make this brief comment. There are some of us that have chosen a path because of the oppression that we suffer, and righteously so, to carry out certain things individually. Mark Essex was one of those persons. I'm not going to talk about what he suffered, but I just want to make this comment. History, which I constantly go back to, and it's not just peculiar to the United States. History teaches that we are not individuals, no matter how bold, how courageous they are, how much sympathy we have for them, cannot bring about the kind of change that has to be brought about. It has to come through mass struggle. and the struggles of the Algerian people who defeated France, the struggles of the Vietnamese who defeated Japan, French, then the United States, the struggles of our own people who defeated chattel slavery, not by the conciliatory president, Mr. Lincoln. It defeated it through arms. Tells me there is a such thing as organized, insurrectionary violence. And America has only known two just wars, the Civil War and World War II. All other wars were wrong. We should study our history, American Revolutionary Civil War.
All right, thank you so much. I didn't realize even what time it was. Time definitely flew by. What I would like to do is, you gonna be sure? Okay, hold on one second. I just wanted to say this real quick. What I would like to do is now, because again, this is at the end of the day, about documenting some solutions. So what I'm going to do is, just like a nice teacher here, I'm going to call on each and every individual in the audience with this one question that I have to close out, so I can get your thoughts before we leave. Anybody opposed to that? It don't matter. But essentially, we want to get ready to wrap up because they actually have another event that's actually about to start at 7. And as we can see, we can go all night with this. But I have one final question that I want to ask, and I'm going to write down everybody's response. So, but first, Ms. Rosa, please, go ahead.
This might answer your question, I'm not sure, but I just want to, I think we get stuck with dichotomous thinking, with this either or. And I think it's a product of our colonization. I think that we come from cultures where we have an expansive view, where many different diverse situations were acknowledged, and I think we have common ground. I think what Yvette said is crucial. There are points that we can all agree on. Divestment is a strategy that everybody can get behind. We don't need the police. We don't need the police in our communities. We can work. If we are serious about anti-oppression, if we are serious about stopping violence in our homes and in our communities and in our streets, we don't need the police. And we can start by all agreeing to put our energies in divesting from that broken system. That's one place that I think that people agree. So while we're agreeing and putting our energies into the things that we do agree, then we can have this healthy exchange and talk about the impact. I'm not saying that advocating for violence is wrong. I'm saying that as a woman, as a person who's looking at the intersections of oppression, the women in communities are the ones left behind when the dudes go out and kill each other and get killed in wars. And I think that that's a very important thing to think about, is that the consequences of violence are something we have to truck with. And a lot of times the people who are rushing out are not thinking about those consequences. I'm not saying don't organize and prepare a violent struggle. I'm saying don't do it raggedy, because our people have been getting beat down already, so we don't need to get into a fight that we can't win.
Okay, no problem at all.
I'd just like to say I have a sign-in sheet in the back, and I appreciate if everybody can sign up. I have a newsletter that I send out every month, just about different information going on with the films, and also different things going on in the community. So I appreciate everybody. If y'all could sign in. We also have another showing tonight at I think 1840 North Claiborne. If anybody missed it. So thank y'all, and I definitely appreciate it. Thank you to the people from PATOIS for bringing us out here. Definitely to Emily Ratman for all the support that she gave us, because she didn't have to bring us out here, but she saw the trailer online. She searched me out, and man, I'm just so thankful for people organizing and really helping us get this message out. So thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate it. Please sign in on the sign-in sheet.
All right, appreciate it. You just... Okay, now this is my last question. We're going to go as quickly as possible, and he just already gave his answer. He didn't even know it. The question I was asking is that what would you have people to do, or what would you suggest people do to become more proactive versus reactive in their community? One thing he said was sign up for informational newsletters for your email instead of getting those forward chain letters. Pray for me 45 times a day or you go die, and stuff like that. My bad, I'm sorry. But seriously, he just said sign up for informational newsletter so you can get some great information. So that's one. So let's go ahead and down the line, no matter what area you think of, give us some proactive tools that we can document and give to the people. Let's go ahead.
Well, being a poet, I would just say wake up every morning and ask yourself, you know, what you can do for the world as opposed to what the world can do for you.
I feel like I just answered about the divestment, and so I'm gonna cede my time to Mr. Walters and Miss Yvette.
Oh, hold on, just put in one sentence form for us.
I think we need to work on ending violence in our communities from the inside and stopping the colonization of our own minds and of our cultures and communities by rejecting the system, rejecting the police, rejecting the prison system. And actually, I want to be clear. I'm not saying that we're ready to do that today, because there is violence that's happening in our community that we need to address.
You understand. Thank you. We're talking about being proactive.
Well, I think each of us have to decide what's going to be our legacy, so to speak. And that nothing's going to change unless we act upon it. It's almost similar to physics. And it's a journey you have to go through to learn and find out what's the correct way. What I profess may not necessarily be convincing enough. But that's something that each and one of us have to learn and find out. But in order to do that, you have to say, hey, I want to work to change this. Because if you don't act upon it, and it's guaranteed it will not change.
So what was your suggestion in a few words?
Be prejudiced, I would say become a revolutionary. That's what I would suggest.
One thing I would like to say that Safe Streets has done, we did a lot of hard work around creating this independent police monitor office. And one thing I would like to share and leave with you all is that right now we don't have an independent police monitor, but we have a deputy police monitor. And I admonish everybody to hold this office accountable. It was created for the people. Now you, the people, got to make it do what it do. Call the IG office, find out about it. They're doing trainings. If you want your organization or you want to be somewhere where people can go and do police reports, you don't have to even go to PIB anymore.
Are you saying they need to come in contact?
They need to come in contact with that training, get it in your community, even if you want to set up your own office where people can come to you and get police complaints. So this is something that State Street worked real hard on to make happen for the community. Now we want to outreach and let you know it's available. And so if you don't take advantage of it, then don't come complaining, because you can make it happen for you.
Community policing. All right, here we go. Quickly as possible. Let's go.